Hi there. Welcome to your mats for your practice today. Thank you for consistently practicing with me over the past few weeks. I hope you've been seeing the benefits as I have. Today our practice is going to be a bit slower, less flowing, and more longer holding poses. We're going to focus on the breath and softening into the pose. We're not going to hold tension in our body. For today's class, you're going to need quite a thick blanket rolled up, and if you have a block or a Tupperware or a book. We're going to begin in child's pose, knees wide apart, your hips drawing back and down, your arms stretched out in front of you. As you start to settle in this pose, deepen your breath and relax into the floor. Taking deep breaths in and out. Letting the earth support you. Letting go. Taking a deep inhale to the count of 4. And exhale to the count of 4. Inhale again to the count of 4. Exhale to the count of 4. Carry on at your own pace, taking deep inhales and exhales. On your next exhale, you're going to walk your hands underneath your shoulders, hips underneath your knees, and come into a tabletop pose. From here, you're going to walk your hands out in front of you to the front of the mat and soften your chest towards the mat, taking your chin or forehead to the mat. Having your hips over your knees, lengthening your shoulder blades down your back and softening them. Reaching forward as you inhale and exhale. Resetting your hips over your knees. As you stay here and you breathe. You let go of any tension as you melt your heart more towards the mat if you have the space. Focusing on your breath, where you feel the stretch. Is it discomfort that arises? Slowly starting to walk your hands back to underneath your shoulders. And coming back into tabletop. As you inhale, you're going to reach your right arm up. And as you exhale, you're going to tread your right arm underneath your left armpit, bringing your right ear to the mat, keeping your hips over your knees. Taking a few deep breaths in here as you become aware of where the stretch is in your body. You can take your left arm and reach it out in front of you. If you want the bind, you can bind your left arm around your back, grabbing hold of your right thigh. Whichever variation suits you is the variation you take. This is your practice. On your next inhale, you're going to walk your right hand back and your left hand as well underneath your shoulders and come into tabletop position again. On your next inhale, you're going to reach your left hand to the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to take your left hand and place it underneath your right armpit, bringing your left shoulder to the floor and your left ear to the floor. Stretching into the left shoulder now, you can walk your right hand forward, or you can take the bind if you did that on the other side. Your hips remain above your knees, and you take slow, long inhales and exhales. Walking your hands back underneath your shoulders again, using them to press up, come into a tabletop pose again. We're going to do pigeon upright. So walk your hands a few inches forward and then bring your right knee to your right wrist and lay your shin down in front of you. Keep your left knee on the mat and slide your left foot back. You can check if your left foot is straight behind you and the kneecap is pointing down on the mat. Using your hands to support you. If your hips are hovering above the ground, you may slide a blanket underneath your hips for extra support. Find the place that's comfortable for you, for your knee. Keeping your chest upright and taking a few breaths here. Start by walking your hands forward and come into sleeping pigeon. You can still keep the blanket underneath your left hip if you need the support. Just relaxing into this pose, releasing completely. Starting to walk your hands back to your feet, rising slowly, coming back into a tabletop position. Walking your hands out a little forward, taking your left knee towards your left wrist, laying your shin down. Slide back the right foot, making sure the right kneecap is pointing down. Take a moment here to square off your hips. If you need a blanket under your hips, you may place it now and just get as comfortable as possible. Staying up on your fingertips. Taking slow, long, deep inhales and exhales. Starting to feel the hips open on the left-hand side. Take in a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to walk your hands forward and fold into sleeping pigeon. Keeping the blanket where it is if you're using it. Taking long deep inhales and exhales and letting your body soften down, holding no tension in any area. Starting to walk your hands back to you, closer to your feet. Lift your torso back up and find tabletop again. Tuck in your toes, coming into downward facing dog. Pedal in your feet if you need to. Taking long, slow, deep inhales and exhales in this pose. You want to spread your fingers wide. Your feet will be hip-width distance apart. Your gaze at your toes or your knees. Deep inhales and slow, long exhales in this pose. Walking your hands about one hand distance in. You're going to take your left hand and grab hold of the back of your right knee, thigh or ankle. Twisting your body, looking under your right shoulder. Making a gentle effort to get your heels to the ground. Pressing into that right hand. If this is too much for you, keep a normal downward facing dog. Placing your left hand back on the mat. You're going to take your right hand now and you're going to grab behind your right knee, calf or ankle, wherever you can reach. Keeping your gaze under your left armpit, making a gentle twist to the left hand side. Keeping a slow, steady breath in this pose. If this is too much for you, you can come out. Placing your hands back on the mat. You're going to come back into tabletop. We're going to do supported child's pose. So you're going to take the blanket that you have, put it quite close to your pelvis, and just rest down in child's pose, but supported by the blanket. Taking either ear to the mat so you're more comfortable, arms stretched out in front of you, and just letting go. Slowly starting to roll up one vertebra at a time. Move your blanket out of the way. Coming to stand at the top of your mat and fall forward. Bending your knees if you need to, as much as you need to. Walk your hands out a little in front of you. Step your left foot behind your right. Pinky toes to touch if you can. And as you inhale, come up halfway lift. And as you exhale, fold forward. You will feel a deep stretch in your hamstring and your outer thigh as you fold. You can go as deep as you can. If you need blocks, you use them under your hands. As you inhale, uncross your legs and do a normal forward fold for a bit. Now walk your hands out a little to the left, and as you inhale, step your right foot behind your left, pinky toes to touch again if you can. As you inhale, halfway lift onto the fingertips. And as you exhale, fold forward into this crisscross forward bend. Fold in deeply and hold in. Feeling where the stretch comes from. Feeling if there is tightness in the body, if there's discomfort. Can you be there with the discomfort? If you have pain, you back off. If you have discomfort, just explore it. In yoga, pain is bad, but discomfort is normal. Remembering your breath in every pose, keeping them low, long and slow. Uncross your legs now and come into a normal forward fold. Come in to sit down on your seat bones for staff pose. Plant your hands on the mat beside your hips and lengthen your legs long through your lower back. Move the fleshy bits from your behind if you need the room. As you inhale, reach up. Open up, and as you exhale, you're going to walk your hands forward into Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Let your hands rest wherever they do. They may be on your knees, they may be on your shins, you might be able to reach your feet, but wherever you are is perfect for today. Softening your body down towards your knees, keeping your gaze at your toes, so that your back doesn't arch. Letting go of any tension in the upper back or neck. And just being. Breathing deep in and out. The ultimate aim is to get your nose to your knees. But if you're not there today, that's also okay. Today it's about softening and feeling. Making a gentle effort to get your knees straight if they are bent a bit. But don't take strain in the body. On your next inhale, you're going to walk your hands back up to besides your hips. You're going to open your legs quite wide apart, getting ready for a wide-legged forward fold. Keeping your hands by your hips, you're going to inhale, open up your chest. And as you exhale, you're going to walk your hands forward, relaxing down. You can grab that blanket and use it underneath your chest if you need to just let go in this pose. Take in deep inhales and exhales in this pose as you feel the back of your hamstrings switch on. If you've gone too far, back up a little. If you feel you have more room, walk your hands further forward and your chest closer to the ground. If you feel stuck anywhere, breathe into the space. Using your hands, start to walk back up into a seated position. Twisted fold now. Turn your torso over your right leg. Reach for your outer right foot with your left hand and fold forward. Keep pulling your left rib cage towards your foot as you inhale, and as you exhale, soften down into the fold. Continue doing this a few more times. Lifting your body back up, come into sit. Resting your hands in front of you. Take a long deep inhale and a slow exhale. Turn to face your left leg and fold, capturing the outer left foot or calf with your right hand. Pulling your chest closer towards your left thigh as you breathe. This side may feel very different to the other side, but each side is different, and that's okay. Releasing your foot and raising up to come back to a seated position. Pulling your legs into center, placing your feet on the mat. Coming into boat pose, so you're gonna, as you inhale, lift your feet off the mat. You're gonna leave your hands on the mat if you need to for support, or you're gonna grab behind your thighs, or you're gonna have your arms alongside your legs. You're gonna keep your spine erect, so you're not bending or arching into your back or slouching down. You want to feel the motion of opening your chest up. You can straighten your legs if you have the room and just hold. Continue breathing in this pose, making sure your breaths are long and deep. Normal, natural breathing. You're going to open up and slowly lower down onto your back. Closing your eyes for a moment, feeling what is happening in your body. Is there any tightness? Is there any stiffness? Is there more space to breathe more deeply into your lungs? Just observing. We're going to roll over now and come to lay on our stomach. Walking your hands out to just one hand distance in front of your face. Your elbows underneath your shoulders. We're going to come up into Sphinx pose. Your pelvis, lower body stays on the floor. You'll make an L shape with your arms and you breathe deeply. Gaze in just in front of you. Even in this pose, don't put too much effort, just gently lift. On your next exhale, you're going to slowly lower back down, chin or forehead to the mat. Going to move your hands underneath your shoulders now. And we're going to come up into Cobra pose. If you need to use your blanket and roll it, put it under your chest for support, you can do this as well. Go as far as your body allows you to go. Your arms do not need to be straight. But if you have the room, you may straighten your arms. Your gaze is straight out in front of you, soft and relaxed. Not holding any tension in your face. No tension in your shoulders. Rolling your shoulders back and down your spine. Making sure your pelvis is still on the floor so you're not overstretching. Being gentle on that lower back. If you're feeling it in your lower back, come down a little more. Listen to your body and do what's best for your body. What feels right. Taking a slow, long, deep inhale in. And as you exhale, you're going to come down. Move your blanket away if it's under you. Rolling over, you're going to come to lie on your back. On your next inhale, you're going to draw your right knee into your chest, hugging it gently for a gentle stretch down your back. Keep taking long inhales and exhales in this pose, being mindful of where you feel the stretch. Also consider where is your mind. Bring it back to the present moment. On your next exhale, you're going to straighten your right leg back out to meet your left leg. As you inhale, you're going to pull your left knee into your chest, gently hugging it. Feeling the stretch on the left side. Once again, becoming aware of where you feel the stretch. What you're experiencing. Where's your mind? Releasing your left leg now to the floor to meet your right leg. Bending both feet now, placing both feet on the floor quite close to your sit bones. As you inhale, you're going to bring both knees into your chest. And as you exhale, you're going to let your knees fall over to the left hand side, taking your arm out to the right hand side, looking over your right shoulder, taking a gentle twist, ensuring that your shoulder blades remain on the floor. If you need the support of your blanket, you can place it under your knees. Just a gentle twist to the right. You can close your eyes here if you want. On your next inhale, you're going to draw your knees back into your chest. Give it a tight hug. And on your next exhale, you're going to let your knees fall over to the right hand side. Taking your left arm out at a T shape, looking over at your left fingers. You have the option here to close your eyes if you want to. Remaining aware of the breath and conscious of it, how it moves in and out of the body. On your next exhale, you're going to release and bring your knees back to center. We're going to do a happy baby pose now. Drawing both your knees in wider than your rib cage. Reach for the outer feet or the hamstrings, and as you exhale, pull gently down on your legs, flattening your back on the mat. Stay here for a little while. If this is too much for you, you can come into lying down position. But if you can manage this, just hold it. It's a gentle stretch. Do not pull too hard on your legs, but let your knees be wide. Flatten your back onto the mat, especially your lower back and sacrum. On your next exhale, you're going to release and wrap your arms around your knees. Give yourself one last big hug. You can roll from side to side to massage into your back if that feels good. Otherwise, just stay static. Take one last deep inhale in, and as you exhale, open up into Shavasana, corpse pose. Your feet will be mat width distance apart, your arms alongside your body, your palms facing up. Letting go of your controlled breathing, gently closing your eyes. Letting the weight of your body sink into the earth. Allowing the earth to support you. Not making efforts, just being. Starting to become aware of your right foot, your right calf, your right knee, your right hip, and the whole of your right leg. Now becoming aware of your left foot, your left calf, your left knee, your left thigh, and the whole of your left leg. Becoming aware of both your legs now on the mat. Taking your attention now to your pelvis region, to your stomach, to your chest, and to your shoulders. Taking your attention now to your right hand, your right elbow, your right shoulder. Now take the attention to the entire right arm. Taking your attention to your left hand, your left elbow, your left shoulder, the whole of your left arm. Now take your attention to the whole of your upper body, your chest and your arms. Take a deep breath in, fill your lungs and let go. Take another deep breath in, fill your lungs and let go. Taking your attention to your throat, to your mouth region, your nose, your eyes, your forehead, and the tip of your head. Bring attention to your entire face now. Take a deep breath in, fill in any space that is empty, and let go. Take another deep breath in, fill in the space, and let go. Keeping your focus at the top of your head, take your attention from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, and from the tip of your toes to the top of the head. One more time, top of your head, top of your toes to the top of your head. Feel the energy moving through your body as you lay here in surrender. Taking a deep breath in, filling up your whole body and letting go. Taking another deep breath in, filling your body and letting go. Letting go of any tightness you feel in your body. Letting go of any emotions you feel. Just let go. Gently start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing movement back into your body. Roll in your ankles and your wrists. Stretching your arms overhead and taking a full body stretch from fingertips to toes, taking a deep breath in as you do this and sign out through your mouth. Doing this one more time, stretching from fingertips to toes, taking a deep breath in and sign out through your mouth. Taking your knees into your chest, rolling over onto your right hand side. Taking a moment here to be grateful for your practice today, for making your time to come to your mat and taking this time out for yourself. It will not only benefit you but those around you. Using your hand to support you, press up and come to a seated position, whichever is comfortable for you. Taking your prayer to heart center in gratitude for all that you've achieved today. Thank you for practicing with me and sharing your energy with me. Namaste.